Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. You're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, what the hell ever. So I kept debating back and forth where and I wanted to do this impromptu episode, but seeing as how I've covered, like, Hogan Knows Best / the whole family saga stuff, with at least within the series in the past, there's been new news that's been kind of going around involving both Linda and Brooke that has really caught eyes, and I wanted to talk about this because this is getting pretty weird. Because, let's face it, every time we ever hear Linda's name being brought up in the news, it's never for anything positive. It feels like every time she comes up in the news, she's bitching about Hulk. Oh, Hogan this, Hogan that, Hulk this, Hulk that. It's like, before I cover this stuff, I'm pleading with Linda, please move on. You two have been officially divorced now for almost 16 years. Okay? Please move on. So, I want to go over the stuff that she said in the video. Like, I saw a video that was shared through Facebook or at Twitter, and there's some articles, and I'm going to look through before then reading Brooke's response, because there's some stuff I want to go over. So, to quickly at least give the big backstory here, Linda filed for divorce from Hulk back in November 2007 after there was the revelation of Hulk having an affair during the filming of Hogan Knows Best. Hulk tries to deny it, but I have to question that because I've covered in when I talked about his Finding Hulk Hogan documentary that he also talked about this again and kind of hinted that, yeah, something pretty much happened behind Linda's back. But now, some things that Linda said, at least in part of the video that was able to be shared on Twitter, was that she claimed that she gave Hulk multiple opportunities to come back and fix the family, which I find it to be odd because wouldn't she have to be the one to come back since she was the one that decided to end the marriage? Like, if you dump somebody, you should be the one being taken back and coming back and everything when you're the one that ended the relationship, not the other way around. So that doesn't quite make sense. She's still sad about the divorce, even though things were finalized back in mid-2009. Like I said, please, just move on, okay? And she even states that she no longer wants to be married again after that. Which, let's face it, her personal life is not glamorous and everything. Like, I can feel sorry for her for being the victim of being cheated on, but she's not exactly a model person herself because, like I said, every single time her name ever comes up for headlines, it's her constantly crying about Hulk. Oh, Hulk this, Hulk that, Hulk ruined my life, Hulk ruined my life. Did you know Hulk ruined my life? We get it, but you can't always be the victim. You're not exactly a model person yourself. Because every time I ever hear word about you, it's always something negative. Like, you hear Hulk, like, talk about you in retrospect, saying that all of a sudden you're a negative person, you would constantly scream fuck you to him over the phone, and never made him feel like he's loved or anything like that. Like, I know the reality show is, like, kind of like an exaggeration of things, like, there's scripted moments, but it feels like, based on what we've heard since then, what we saw on the show may have reflected real-life tensions and everything with how volatile that marriage got. Because, like, Linda, you're not perfect yourself. Let's not forget, because, like, after the divorce started and everything, you started dating a guy who was about 30 years younger than you. A guy who was around the same age as your daughter, Brooke, back then. Okay? Like, I know age is just a number because, like, adults and everything, but that's a pretty large age difference there by almost 30 years. And, like I said, especially when the guy's right around the age of your daughter. So you can't try to keep claiming that you're the victim and, oh, woe is me all the time. Okay? At this point, it feels like pettiness, kind of like with Brett and Goldberg being like, oh, Goldberg ended my career, did you know? It's like, it's just a record just being played, a broken record being replayed here. But now I'm looking at page6.com because they added a bit more of a transcript and everything that I wanted to also cover. So, courtesy of page6.com, and then I'll cover the New York Post, and then I'll talk about Brooke. So, courtesy of page 6, it says, Hulk Hogan's ex-wife Linda slammed the retired WWE star as a sex addict and a liar while crying over her estrangement from their daughter, Brooke Hogan. Now, with liar, I mean, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, saying Hulk is a liar is like saying the sky's blue, water is wet, and all that shit. Sex addict. I mean, it's hard to believe that Hogan's able to have sex anymore. I mean, he's probably got creative control over that. Oh, you need to satisfy me. That doesn't work for me, brother. So, here's some quotes that we're saying here. It's been 15 however long years since I left Hulk Hogan, and the family is the worst mess. And she says, Brooke doesn't talk to us. She had twins, she got married, and she didn't tell us. She had referring to her daughter's private wedding to hockey player Steven Oleski in 2022 and birth announcement earlier this month. and there are screenshots of her crying and everything. And she says that Linda, 65, alleged that 36-year-old daughter stopped talking to her when the latter got into a fight with Hulk, 71, about 8 years ago, which is new revelation, because, like, you've seen how close Brooke and Hulk have always been. You would think, like, that they could overcome anything. I mean, I think the last time we heard her name being brought up in mainstream was her trying to come to defense of her father after the whole racism allegations, trying to write a poem on his behalf and everything. And that was, 2015? And that was the first time we had heard her name brought up since she left TNA a few years earlier. But now, let me get back to this here. I don't know how that reflected onto me, but she cut me out too, she sobbed, adding that she still has a relationship with her and the WWE star Nick Hogan, who's age 34, saying he's such a good boy. So it's like, hey, at least you got your son in your life. Continue here. I have to be honest about what I went through in my marriage, what it entailed, and what it has caused me over the years. He's a complete liar. He's a sex addict, yet he marches on. Let's continue referring how X promotes his Real American Beer brand like nothing is wrong. Such a hero, right? Not. Explains she's given Hogan more opportunities to come back and reconcile their family. But again, it would make sense for him to come back if he was the one that ended the marriage, like I said before. Continuing on. It's been 20 years and I'm still this sad. So please explain that. I do love living alone. I don't ever want to be married again after him. Trust me. There's not much of any quotes again continuing from Linda and everything from here. But now let me get to the other article courtesy of the New York Post, because I am finding links and quotes and everything everywhere, because Brooke had a response to this, but also Linda had remarks about Brooke. So Linda is saying this, that Hulk Hogan's estranged daughter, Brooke, 36, has once again fired back at her mother as the pair continue to engage in brutal back and forth on social media. Latest after the wrestler's ex-wife Linda Hogan accused Brooke of getting, quote-unquote, so drunk and, quote-unquote, breaking my collarbone. The ferocious saga started on Thursday, March 27, after Linda took to Instagram to blame her ex-husband for the family's ongoing issues. Brooke quickly responded with an Instagram post of her own, which she blamed her mom for all the Hogan family drama. Linda responded with a Facebook post calling her daughter a narcissist, at which Brooke responded to Instagram to clarify the truth on the whole matter. First of all, it appears my mother may not have actually read what I wrote, which Brooke said on Friday, which again I'll get to in just a bit. She absolutely did make false claims, like she had, quote-unquote, never met my husband and doesn't even know what his name is, then deleted it. She says she hasn't spoken to me in a number of years, she continued, yet I have a picture of her and my husband together on a day we had lunch together. Think she got married in 2022, so Linda, you got some explaining there to do. I did not ask for this, nor did I even want to make a statement, but I couldn't let people continue to speak for me. My name is continuously brought up in the constant drama from my family. And she also discussed claims of verbal and mental abuse she mentioned in a prior Instagram post, but post did not directly accuse anyone of behaviors mentioned, she said. So if she's triggered by something, I think that speaks volumes. She is, however, making a serious accusation against me directly that has zero validity, and that I take seriously. I have plenty of people who know the truth, and I know the truth, so I'm not afraid. She concluded in her latest statement, I showed compassion for her in my post. At this point, I think her response says more about her than it does about me. And Linda also threatened to sue her estranged daughter, and there's screenshots of this too. And here's what Linda said on Facebook in terms of a written post. Seems narcissism runs deep in this family. Brooks is a narcissist just like her dad, going out spewing lies to everyone, and I'm supposed to defend my truth against that. Not about to do that. It seems to me that she doesn't want the truth being revealed to her new husband and his family about who she was and things in her past. Before I continue reading this, for some reason her display name says Linda Hogan. Hogan was a stage name, and you're no longer carrying that name, Linda. Apparently you're just keeping that name there to possibly keep your name relevant. But anyway, let me continue. I think I spanked Brooke once. Yeah, I called her a couple of names. She put a couple there twice. By no means ever treated her the way she's painting it. They had cell phones. She could have posted horrible things about me back when all this was supposedly happening, but nothing she didn't because nothing was happening. When she took her dad's side after the divorce and wrote the Wonderful Mom song, went to all the tabloids because Terry was using her as a tool, her memory completely skewed about the treatment that she received growing up in her household. You can talk to anyone. You can ask anybody you can ask Terry. that none of the stuff ever happened. It's her angle to keep her family away from her. Now, revealing who she used to be after drinking half a bottle of vodka. She was so drunk she broke my collarbone, cut my lip, and insisted everyone take her to the hospital because she was poisoned, and she wasn't. She was just drunk. There's many stories like that. I'm not going to go on, but I'm not going to defend myself against these ridiculous allegations. I'll do that in court if she keeps it up. Ay, 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 Linda. So there goes that post. But now I want to read what Brooke posted, because she made a couple of separate posts through Instagram, and I want to directly quote the stuff to not paraphrase or take anything out of context. So here's the first post that happened on Thursday, because she put these in like notes and everything, took screenshots, and put them on Instagram. So if you wish to read them yourself, you're more than free to do so. So here we go. I try very hard to ignore issues surrounding my family in hopes I might have peace in my life. Sadly, I've intentionally made myself smaller in my professional career in music and TV, simply to dodge the public negativity surrounding my family that has continuously and relentlessly overshadowed anything I do. If it were just me, I would continue to take hits and shrink even smaller to avoid dangers of speaking publicly. But I have my own family now, and it's affecting more than just me at this point. There was a recent video posted by my mother that was concerning enough for people to send to me that has made me feel the need to address the tip of a very large iceberg that is my immediate family. What little I am addressing does not even scratch the surface of what I've dealt with my entire life. I will start by saying this video is mild compared to behavior I have witnessed for the greater portion of my life. This also comes in addition to false claims that she's previously posted, then deleted. That being said, she has been through a lot of trauma and pain. My heart breaks for her. You can't control how others treat you, but you can't control how you treat others and cope with things. That is very true. Let me get to the next part here. I accidentally pushed the keyboard here. Too many times I have ignored things said about me and haven't spoken my truths. Even so, I will keep things as vague as possible to continue to protect people that should have protected me. Most importantly, I have completely separate reasons for going no contact with each of my parents. My contact with my mom has nothing to do with my dad, and no contact with my father has nothing to do with my mother. This also pertains to my dad's second and third, now current wife. This decision was made based purely on how they have dealt with me directly with my entire life. What I'm about to say is not pointed at either person. It is in no particular order when it comes to who did what. This is my own personal truth, and you can do your own math. I've been extremely verbally and mentally abused since childhood. Sadly, it would frequently turn physical. And sometimes it's not by the person you would assume. Abuse comes in all shapes and sizes. This vicious pattern has robbed me of any sense of self-esteem or confidence that I've been trained to pretend to have. Negative third screenshot. It took me many years to figure out the things that were seemingly done, quote-unquote, for me really benefited someone else in a greater capacity. Up until adulthood, I received berating and vile text messages, verbal, public reamings with unbelievably hurtful words said to me that cannot be forgotten. I've been asked to defend poor behavior to the public and have done so out of love, only to find I was misinformed, manipulated, and lied to. Still to this day, I face constant ridicule for those poor decisions of others. I've watched others benefit financially off my suffering and embarrassment caused by their selfish behavior. While it caused my life to crumble, I continue to stay strong and silent. I was expected to, and did, forgive massive blows to my career and personal life, nasty behavior, omission of truth, blatant lies, manipulation, and repetitive errors in hopes of renewing previous family bonds. I've been used as a pawn, a buffer, and been treated like I'm downright stupid too. No child or human should ever experience something like this. And the next one, feeling injustice, not speaking my truth, dealing with smear campaigns, flying monkeys, enablers of this behavior, watching fake win over what's real, and losing other family members and friends in an attempt to stop gossip and ongoing drama is also a painful side effect of this decision I deal with daily. Many people witnessed this behavior and never took action or took a stand for me. But I did watch them stick around for the freebies, money, and association of fame, all of which I chose to give up and was never important to me in the first place. I guess some don't speak up to avoid getting caught in the crosshairs too. I can't blame them. My family is very skilled at war. I so badly wanted to see good in them, protect, help, and start anew just to be disrespected again and again. I longed for a normal family, but it never came to fruition. I've repeatedly held my hand out to help them, only to have them pull me into the darkness with them. I've set boundaries that were not respected, and at this point, I can truly do no more. Get to the next one. So here I am, an adult with a loving husband and 2 beautiful children of my own. And what I can do is take control. I have been to therapy. I am doing the work. I am breaking the chain. It ends with me. Each individual on their own has given me more than enough reasons over the years to make this extremely hard and painful decision to end contact. As much as I not only understand and have empathy for their own struggles, I absolutely love them with every fiber of my being, which deep down I think they know. My heart hurts every day, and not a day passes that doesn't affect me. Inside of me, there is a little girl who desperately wants and needs her mom and dad. No one wants this to feel so much pain and not have parents, but their behavior became more painful than their absence. One day they realize, appreciate, and respect why I've chosen to remain as quiet as possible, not exposing specific names and details of certain experiences to still try to protect them. Get to the next one. It is not something easy to handle. Feeling like you're on an island, many don't know that years ago I waited tables to build my own business with zero financial help from others, but I have worked hard my whole life. And to pause right there, I did actually see a video of this. I know there is one on YouTube that showed that after she left the music business, she started waiting tables and everything, so, I mean, applause to her for deciding to change her life and do what she wanted. I mean, I know it can't be easy being financially independent, but you know what? Props to her. Continuing here, cycles must be broken. I feel God has given me the strength and duty to do so. At this point, my husband, my children, and relationship with God is my priority. There have been more than enough chances and reprieve given. It has to stop. It ends now. I will not let the false narrative continue past this point. Please heed my warning. I am choosing peace, but do not mistake my kindness or silence for weakness. There are families without food, parents with sick children, real hardships going on in the world, and our family was more than blessed, and everyone chose to play their cards differently. Accountability is a game changer. Then you got a small quote, like screenshot here, saying, life is so precious. I want to so much to be able to enjoy what's important, my children and my life. I have worked so hard to create and protect, and I hope everyone can give me the chance to do that without injecting any more poison into it. So that was a post on Thursday. Now, we've also got a new post. As I'm recording this was around 3:30ish in the afternoon on Friday. So this was the follow-up one where a post said, thank you for all the support. I'm embarrassed that I even have to make another post about this. Brooke, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you are, but this is just a what if. If you are, please keep your head up. You're very strong for speaking up about this. You have my support, and I'm sure everybody else reading this also has support for you, because it takes a lot to go through this. But let me now read on to this next part, based on our Friday post. First of all, it appears my mother may not have actually read what I wrote. She absolutely did make false claims, like she had, quote-unquote, never met my husband, and she doesn't even know what his name is, then deleted it. She says she hasn't spoken to me for a number of years, yet I have a picture of her with her and my husband together on a day we did lunch together. I did not ask for this, nor did I even want to make a statement, but I also couldn't let people continue to speak for me. My name is continuously brought up in the constant drama with my family. My post did not directly accuse anyone of behaviors mentioned, and that is true because she did not mention names. So if she's triggered by something, I think that speaks volumes. She is, however, making a serious accusation against me that has zero validity, and that I take seriously. I have plenty of people who know the truth, and I know the truth, so I am not afraid. I show compassion for her in my posts. At this point, I think her response says more about her than it does about me. Then you get the next screenshot, and it actually shows proof, because she actually has a because that's just the last bit of the post, but she also includes an image there of herself with her husband and her mom from June of 2023. So we have validity here with the image here and the tags and everything. So Brooke's story, I believe, checks out. And it's it's honestly sad to look at this family like this, because it's out of all the members of the Hogan family that we see here, the only one that we can really look at in a positive light is Brooke, because out of all 4 members, Hulk, Linda, Brooke, and Nick, Brooke is the only one that doesn't seem to get in controversy. Because it's you never really hear her name in a negative light in terms of who she is as a person compared to everybody else. Because Linda, she can't let the fact that her marriage is over go. She's still bitching about Hulk, like I mentioned before. Hogan, he's far from a perfect person, all right? He's a compulsive liar. We all, there's a long laundry list there. And Nick's got his own problem, with speeding and drinking, everything. We know about that stuff. Brooke seems to be the only one with a proper head on her shoulders. And again, that can't be easy because, like, I know I talked about this in the Hogan. I can't remember which season Hogan Knows Best it was, but there was one episode where you see her getting emotional, screaming at her family about her treatment, being like too much pressure being put on her and all that. And I know it's like a scripted series, but it feels possibly real because, like, the emotions coming out and, like, talking about this stuff. And I can relate to that, like, having pressure put on you as an older child. And it seemed like that may be based on reality because some things that you hear on the show seem to be repeated in real life stuff going down the line. So, this is just absolutely nuts. And like I said, my heart goes out to Brooke, hoping that you're okay. And, like, nobody should have to go through this stuff. Like, I would also like to hear Nick's side of things, like what his thoughts are based on this stuff, like based on what his mother said, what Brooke has said, and like his experiences with them growing up. I mean, I can imagine things are probably a bit easier on him because I think like a lot of us can agree if you have siblings that it seems like the older sibling has more pressure and responsibilities put on them, and then any younger siblings seem to have a bit more relaxed in terms of treatment. Because, like, I've noticed that, at least within my family, so it feels like that's a bit of a pattern. And I'm sure some people listening to this can agree with that, but my gosh. Like I was saying, Hulk, you're a piece of shit. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Linda, you need to move on. Stop freaking crying about Hulk. Your marriage has been over for a while now. Please move on with your life. Because I'm tired of your name being brought up, and every time your name is in the headlines, it's because you keep bitching about Hulk. Nick, please get your life together. And Brooke, keep your head up. So, yeah. This is just absolutely nuts. I'm hoping I don't have to cover any more Hogan theme, like, topics or anything. Maybe the only thing I'll probably talk about involving the Hogan name is maybe if I cover the cartoon from way back in the day. But otherwise, I think I've covered enough Hulk stuff here, Hogan family stuff here on the podcast. So, hopefully this is going to be it. But let me know y'all in the comment section below. And like I said, if you want to read Brooke's response and everything, go to her Instagram. It's Ms. Hogan, M-I-Z-Z Hogan. You can find this stuff there. It is a public statement. So if you wish to read that yourself, you're more than free to do so on your own time. But anyway, let me know y'all in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, please leave a like, subscribe to the bell, turn on here on YouTube, comment what you thought below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.